Hello class, alright, for the third and final peer-reviewed journal article that I will be speaking about. This article was done by the authors Obeng and Berkey. It's a 2008 study entitled Explaining Crashes at Intersections with Red Light Cameras, a Note. This journal article was also published by Elsevier. However, its subcategory is entitled Transportation Research, Part A, Volume 42, pages 811 to 817. Summary of this article. The article elaborates on this theory that the authors identify as offsetting behavior. Offsetting behavior is when pretty much the way I read into it is offsetting behavior is an end that does not meet its intended purpose. Therefore, the impact of red light cameras does not in fact reduce the vehicle crash rate. It actually increases the vehicle crash rate. Okay. This article this article examines two things. Pretty much what I just spoke about. It looks at first red light camera measures in shaping driver behavior, so drivers become more conscious and better drivers due to the implementation of red light camera technology. Therefore, they'll drive safer and we'll have safer roads and so on and so forth. Part 2 of it looks at the red light camera measures as making drivers more frantic in that they are worried about a red camera as they approach the intersection, so they become more frantic and they slam on the brakes, which in fact does not prevent crashes, it increases crashes, and that's where the whole, as discussed in the prior two studies, the whole finding that there is an increased crash rate in rear-end collisions. In this study, the authors did conclude that the presence of red light camera technology at intersections does not decrease the likelihood of vehicles getting in accidents. It in fact produces their theory of offsetting behavior in that the red light cameras, rather than reducing the crash rate, actually increase the crash rate. So, I don't know. It's a tricky article. My assessment on this whole article is that the researchers, they're in a peer-reviewed journal article, one that I found these 3 articles in, and there's a lot of research that is published in this journal article on traffic safety, and they're also endorsed by the Urban Transit Institute at A&T State University in North Carolina. They're academically affiliated with that school. As for this topic, I don't see much substance in it other than speculation, because there's no real statistic or valid reasoning other than opinion backing their inferences up that say that red light camera technology does not reduce the crash rate, it actually increases it. And I just can't buy too much into it. But they do bring up an interesting point, which I think might be valuable maybe in my research paper, and it also kind of gets into this notion of spillover. So it's kind of related to spillover in that it might play a positive linkage there. So yeah, that's my reflection. I just gave you my assessment and my reflection at the same time. But that concludes my peer-reviewed journal articles. And please, if you have any advice or think I'm off track in any way, go ahead and shoot me some advice, because it's all appreciated. Thank you very much. Have a good night. Bye.